Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Once again, it is the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray show, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor broadcasting. All things you'd want to find about the outdoors, whether it be camping, bird watching, fishing, hunting, hiking, you will find out, as the theme song says, all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. And so now, without any more fanfare, the one and only, the one that you've been waiting to hear, the oracle of the outdoors,
there's nothing left
Larry
for you, John.
Ray.
There's nothing left for you, John. I did think he said bird washing instead of watching, but I've never done that.
I like bird washing.
I like bird washing, too. I know that. So
yeah.
I think that's one of the best you've ever done.
You don't wash your birds?
I don't wash my birds.
Wash your birds when you clean them.
Yeah, when you clean them. I know Dave Gabbard, it's hard act to follow when we get Frank and John in here, but Dave, we missed him last week on our 23rd anniversary show, but he was a little busy. Tell our listeners what you were doing last week, Dave Gabbard.
Well, last week for the 11 days, I was at the 124th World Trap Shooting Championships, and it's held these days up at what's called the World Shooting and Recreation Center up in Sparta, Illinois.
And you were among how many shooters, you think?
Okay, for the total for the 11 days, there was a total of a little over 3,000 shooters classified.
How do they do that, Frank? I mean, you got 1,200 dogs to keep care of for 10 days. They got 3,000 shooters in the same amount of time.
They got a very good secretary.
They got a good secretary. Yeah.
I promise you.
Well, the different events are spread over the 11 days. You've got 26 different events, and probably by far the most popular is the Clay Target Championship. And out of that one, there was a little over. It was 1,977 shooters.
Goodness gracious!
That shot, and out of that 1,977, 58 of them run 200 targets straight.
58 of them ran 200 targets straight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow!
And then for the different events, when you tie like that, you got the shoot-offs. So a lot of those 58 shooters, when they started shooting off, it took a total of 3 days to get them off, to get the weapon declared. So there's probably some of them broke, probably another 200 targets straight.
So how many targets did you shoot over those days?
I shot a total of 2,600 targets, 2,600 targets.
You shot 2,600 targets.
Right.
All right. Now I'm looking at reaction here. 2,600 targets.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah. With the same shoulder. I mean, injuries are a part of this sport. Everybody comes out with a sling, because that's
you're talking target ammo, and target ammo is nowhere near like heavy field ammo. So
okay. But it's a lot of. So how many? You carry all those with you, or do you buy them when you're up there?
Well, it's for certain events you're able to shoot your reloads.
Okay.
And I shoot reloads for two of the events, but what we call the handicap events or the long yardage events, you have to use factory ammo to shoot those, and you can either take it with you or you can buy it on site on the premises.
Because this is how you said it's like 3 miles on. I mean the shooting. Describe the course. I'm really interested in this, and folks, we're talking to Dave Gabbard, who would normally be in here on the 1st and 5th Saturday as our co-host, and was not able to be with us last week on our 23rd anniversary show, like everybody else was, because he was in Sparta, Illinois, at the Grand.
I tried, but it's funny this year. That Saturday morning, a lot of these locales, the sale reception is not the greatest in the world, and we had more thunderstorms this year.
Not
early,
just us then.
Early like that. I remember at 6 o'clock Saturday morning, we had a severe storm. And then, in fact, one day during the shoot, we had a severe storm. It knocked power out to the whole facility for about 5 hours.
Well, talk about the facility, because I know John and Frank, I would like to know that facility. You can look online and look it all up, but you go there. You've been there many years. Talk about that facility, because it's pretty amazing that when I think of Sparta, I'm thinking of In the Heat of the Night with the movie in Mississippi. That's Sparta.
But believe it or not, Sparta, Illinois, that's where they filmed the TV show at.
Really? In Sparta, Illinois? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the facility itself, because you mentioned.
Like I said, it's the World Shooting and Recreation Facility. The facility itself is owned by the Illinois Department of Natural Resources.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's a facility. And what it is, the governing body of the that governs trap shooting, competitive trap shooting, is called the Amateur Trap Shooting Association. And they lease this facility for the World Championship from the state of Illinois, plus another big shoot they have during the spring in May they call the U.S. Open. But the trap fields from one end, starting on field number 1 all the way to bank 27, is 3.5 miles long.
3.5 miles long. That's a lot of pulling carts around. So I guess you carry your stuff out there with you,
well, a lot of people. You see a lot of golf carts. You see a lot of UTVs. The good part about it, parking wise, you can pull up. It's a short walk. You can.
Okay.
You can pull up right behind the banks.
But to see this facility and know that and Dave,
yeah.
You've been going there how many times? How many times you been?
Well, I've been competitive trap shooting since 1987.
Okay, since 1987. So how did you do this year, Dave? You got a listening audience wondering, said, well, how did Dave do up there?
Well, at the World Championship, you drop one target. I just joke you're shooting practice. So
yeah, you're out.
I got to shoot a lot of good practice.
You did? Okay.
98s and 99s don't get it done.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And but I guess it's camaraderie too, Dave. You've been going so long, you know each other and things along that line.
The group of I've been shooting with, like I said, been shooting for decades with them. And, the ATA moved in the early 2000 to this facility at Sparta because for years the home grounds more or less was above Dayton, Ohio.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Place Vandalia. And out by the Dayton International Airport. And what happened, they were extending runways.
And took over some of the field. Yeah.
They lost about 50 trap fields.
Ah.
They lost. So they were looking for a place to relocate, and the state of Illinois, on this area, it's reclaimed strip mine.
Reclaimed strip mines. Okay. All right. And so they moved. What's the size of Sparta?
Sparta's small town, probably I want to say 3,000 people.
Well, where does everybody stay for that long?
Well, that's most of the time. The facility has camping spaces for about 3,500 campers.
3,500 campers, and you take your camper, right? I mean,
I have an existing camping spot, every year.
All right. So you've got that, and that's where you stay during that time, right? So.
But there's several. There's people, if you're staying in a motel, they'll stay as far away as up towards St. Louis, which St. Louis is about 45 miles.
Okay. So they do all these different things. Well, I wanted our listeners to get a kind of a feel of it, but at the same time, I wanted to talk about you and Outdoors with Larry Ray, because you've been a valuable part of this team for I don't know how many years you've been doing it, but it's been a while, and you kind of kick off the pun master himself with Gene Smith. You've kind of inherited Gene.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you being part of our show, Dave, really. And
I came on board with you around 2000.
Around 2000. Well, that's pretty around, that's for sure. You've been there just about as long as the show has been, and I want to thank you, man. We're going to let you go, but I appreciate you touching with us. You'll be back real soon here. So
yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And I just want to add about bird watching. You know, I'm sitting here on my front porch. You know, early morning.
Yeah.
One of my hummingbird feeders with the hummingbirds. They're. I wish I could teach them the words.
The words.
Yeah, they just hum.
Oh, they just hum. Okay, all right.
Words.
That's good, Gene Smith. Dave Gabbard. Okay, that's pull it out. All right. Thank you, Dave. Talk to you, buddy. Bye.
Okay. I'll have a good morning.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You walked right into that one.
I did walk right into that one, didn't I? Yeah. Y'all knew that was coming?
Had a feeling.
I had a feeling? Okay, I had a feeling. All right, let's take a break. We're winding this baby up. It's already been an hour. It's hard to believe because, when you're having fun, things go fast. We'll be right back. Going to talk about TWRA because we're getting ready to start squirrel season. Deer season just around the corner. Dove season's coming up. And a lot of things going on at TWRA. And we're going to talk to Amy Spencer. Coming right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.